The Independent Women's Forum, Claudia Rossett. Claudia, thanks for being with us.
Great to be here. Thank you.
So, Claudia, I want to start by talking about the Crown Prince. If he decides to attend the G20 summit, it could put President Trump and really a lot of world leaders in a very uncomfortable position. So what is the likelihood of a President Trump, Mohammed bin Salman photo op? And if that were to happen, I mean, what sort of message would that send?
That's a very tough one, and it looks like he may be coming. So my strong recommendation, I think if he shows up, President Trump needs to say something, possibly even if he doesn't. But to single out Saudi Arabia, I think, would be a mistake, because one of the problems with the G20 is that it's effectively operates as a morally blind group. There are others there, including the presidents of China and Russia, where if you want to go into the catalogs of atrocities, the attack with nerve agent in Salisbury, UK earlier this year, Russia, the gulag that China operates. There are problems broadly. And my strong recommendation to President Trump would be that this is the moment for a rousing speech to the entire G20 on the importance that America places on liberty and law. And in the course of that, run through the at least brief mention of what Saudi Arabia has just done, the MBS problem, but also include China and Russia, a message to the world.
And there are certainly quite a few bad apples on the world stage, but the incident with Saudi Arabia and the Crown Prince and the murder of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi has just dominated international headlines. And then President Trump put out the statement this week saying that the U.S., no matter what, is going to continue to stand by the Saudis. And that statement has come under tremendous criticism from members of his own party, his own allies, Senator Lindsey Graham, Senator Rand Paul, and then Senator Ben Sasse. He was on Fox News Sunday just this morning, and this is what he said.
MBS contributed to murdering somebody abroad, and it is not strength to sort of mumble past that. Strength is telling the truth even when it's hard.
So it appears that, President Trump has pretty much made his decision about how he's going to respond to this. But do you think any other world leaders might stand up to the Crown Prince at the G20?
Oh, very possible. But I actually think the responsibility lies with President Trump to clarify that America is a country that doesn't, we have a strong strategic interest in continuing to deal with and support in the region Saudi Arabia. But that doesn't mean that we need to give a pass to what just happened, which was horrendous. That was a gruesome murder. At the same time, to say that because that's now high in the headlines, that should shape all things, I think is also a misleading approach. And what I'm saying is, broadly, it's a moment for President Trump to lay down a clear marker. He needs a good speechwriter to do this for him. And he does have that when he wants it. He gave a terrific speech in Seoul last year on the problems with North Korea. It's time for him to speak up at the G20. That would be the ideal venue, given this awkward problem, about why it is that development and the progress that the G20 is supposed to be all about depends on liberty and law. That leaves no room for the kind of thing that MBS from Saudi Arabia just did. That leaves no room for the way that Putin and Xi are governing.
All very fair points, Claudia. And, there's just so much else on the agenda that unfortunately we can't even get to. You've got China, climate, all huge things that will likely dominate the G20 starting next week. Claudia Rossett, thank you so much.
Sure.
Leland.